that one you get going now? That you're working on?
Yeah. I got that north yet, so I picked another one and decided on it, another one.
Some guy named John Corbett.
At least for the next 20 minutes anyway. What I need to talk about is not the weather, it's not me. I need to talk about this thing. How many of you have little or no knowledge of this instrument? Just about everybody, all right? This is called a hammered dulcimer. D-U-L-C-I-M-E-R, dulcimer. It's an instrument that dates back about 2000 BC. That's before Corbin. It's mentioned on the walls of the pyramids in the Old Testament of the Bible. It's basically been around absolutely forever. Probably will be too. It's a trapezoid-shaped box, has a bass bridge down the right side, treble bridge down the middle side, has 72 strings that run back and forth across in that direction. And those strings are played by banging on them with little wooden mallets called hammers, hence the name hammered dulcimer. Now, they're good for all different types of music, and I can prove that pretty quick, except I want to prove it on a different instrument. Not only do I have the regular parlor size model dulcimer, I now have the new handy dandy wallet size version, so let me play it. Okay. If those could have babies, they look like this. This is called a dulcetta. It's just a miniature hammered dulcimer. It's played exactly like a big one, although it really doesn't sound all that much like a big one. It has a personality all its own. And I want to do a couple old contra dance songs. I understand they're just real popular in Nicaragua, you know. This is an Irish tune and an American tune back called Over the Waterfall and the Mississippi Sawyer. Waterfalls, Mississippi Sawyer. I'm going to be honest, I have absolutely no idea how to introduce this next song anymore. This is probably the stupidest song that I know, and I seldom, if ever, get requests for it. Until lately, in the past month and a half or so, I've probably had 35 people come up and ask to hear this song, and I don't know why. It's a conspiracy. That's the only thing I can figure out. I'm just going to go ahead and do it and let you figure it out on your own. Oh, by the way, I would like to dedicate this song, however, to anyone here that has a brother, all right? You'll recognize it. whoop little Buford? Mama, don't you pound on his head. Oh, Mama, don't you whoop little Buford? I think you should shoot him instead. Now Buford brought home his report card, and he was as proud as can be, for he just passed on to the 3rd grade, and Buford is just 23. Oh, Mama, don't you whoop little Buford? Mommy, you'll just be a wreck, 'cause Buford is studying judo, and he'll break your scrawny old neck. Isn't that sweet? Oh, Mama, don't you whoop little Buford? You don't know how Buford feels. Buford is good to you, Mama. He brings you whatever he steals. Then comes the sad verse. Alright, granted, all these verses are pretty sad. This is worse than all the rest of them go. Just make sure you're emotionally prepared for this, alright? Now Buford is gone. What a pity. Now we can't go happiness. We gotta do home in the city, and we won't give him our address. So Mama, don't you whoop little Buford? Mama, don't you pound out his breath? Just teach him to be a folk singer, and Buford will soon starve to death. Okey-doke. I want to do a couple more dance numbers here. Now, really, the place in American history for the dulcimers was primarily during the westward expansion period. These were kind of the middle-class substitute for a piano. Now, pianos were pretty expensive to begin with because, of course, they were all handmade back then. It wasn't really until the advent of mass production that we really started getting cheap pianos. But to top off the fact that they were expensive to begin with, if you lived out west, the only way you could get one was either send it all the way up from the East Coast on a wagon, which cost just a whole lot of money, and you can never guarantee it'd ever get there anyway. Or you could put it on a boat and sail it all the way around the coast of South America, because of course the Panama Canal wasn't built yet either. So most people out west couldn't afford a piano. This is what they had instead. It's about all middle-class families had them. Now, once transportation got better, prices went down on pianos, these things went out the window. Except in the dance community. These things hung around with them clear up until the 1920s, 1930s. Henry Ford, for example, was a fiddle player. Whenever he wasn't making cars, he was traveling up and down the East Coast playing fiddles with a country dance band, playing for square dances. He had 2 dulcimer players in his band. So I want to do a couple of mid 19th century dance numbers here, some good peppy ones, called The Red-Haired Boy, Hop High Ladies, and The Boatman. Grab your partners. I didn't say you have to dance, just grab your partners, it's a lot of fun. Did you ever go to meet Uncle Joe, Uncle Joe? Did you ever go to meet Uncle Joe, Uncle Joe? Don't you mind the weather at the window blow? Oh, hop high side door, hop high, ladies, go side door, don't you mind whether the window blows. Did you get the rheumatism, Uncle Joe? Uncle Joe, did you get the rheumatism, Uncle Joe? Uncle Joe, did you get the rheumatism, Uncle Joe? Uncle Joe, don't you mind whether the wind don't blow? Boatman dance, boatman sing, boatman do most of the old playing. When the boatman comes to shore, spends his money, goes to more. Dance, boatman dance, dance, boatman dance, dance all night till the broad daylight. Come home with the gals in the morning. Hey ho, the boatman road, sail down the river in the Ohio. Hey ho, the boatman road, sail down the river in the Ohio. But she was a boatman's wife. When the boatman comes ashore, steals your money, goes for more. Dance, boatman, dance, dance, boatman, dance, dance all night till the broad daylight. Come home with the gals in the morning. Hey ho, the boatman road, sail down the river in the Ohio. Hey ho, the boatman road, sail down the river in the Ohio. I have time for about 2 more songs, and I want to do one of mine. Why not? It's my show. This is the song I started doing out here last year. People seem to like it a lot because they kept asking for it. And they've been asking for it all year this year as well. I did get around to recording it this winter on a brand new collection of songs called Minstrel's Tales, which incidentally is up for Ozarks Album of the Year this year. This is a story made up of little bits and pieces of my childhood memories, with a great deal of fiction thrown in to make my childhood sound a whole lot more interesting than it really was. I grew up in St. Joseph, Missouri, up north end of the state. A lot of tornadoes up there. The closest I ever got to one was about a quarter of a mile. Folks in this story got this a little bit closer than that. It's called The Winds of 63. Branson Creek was about eye level, just enough to hide my brother and me. Long summer days in cool, cool water, the gold of the sun in the old oak tree. The view from my room of the whole world crumbling on into the setting sun. And the moon shone down on the road to town, and a boyhood dreams of fun. Light day and the flies are buzzing and the corn is reaching up for the sky. Oh, nothing too fancy to paramount living for someone like my brother and I. Perched in the hayloft watching the storm clouds gathering up from me. We could feel the spray take our childhood away with the winds of 63. Long time now, and I've been thinking how it used to be. The slam of the screen door, rain on the wind, and the mint in my iced tea. Grandpa's perched on a white horse rail, and he's singing his songs to me. But it all went out with the winds in 63. Sang a terrible song as we buried ourselves in the hay. And over the road there was Grandpa calling, I can hear his voice even today. Run as we did, we would only remember the bright lit flash where we'd see where the sky came down and covered our lives with the winds of 63. It's been a long time now, and I've been thinking how it used to be. The slam of the screen door, rain on the wind, and the mint in my iced tea. Grandpa's perched on a white porch rail, and he's singing songs to me. But it all went out with the wind in 63. Hill in a summer cornfield, looking out over the land. I told the dirt where the front porch of the old house used to stand. Somewhere off on a far horizon, storm clouds are calling to me. Where Grandpa sleeps in the pale moonlight with his songs to set him free. Time now, and I've been thinking how it used to be. Climb of the screen door, rain on the wind, and a mint in my iced tea. Grandpa's perched on a white porch rail, and he's singing songs to me. But it all went out with the winds in 63. But it all went out with the winds in 63. Okay, I have time for one more song. I certainly can't end with that one. You all go sobbing down the street and have a really miserable day, just like these folks. So I want to do something bright and bouncy and happy and really exciting to do. As a matter of fact, this is probably the brightest, bounciest song ever conceived by man. And you all know it. You may not recognize it at first, but you all know it. Before I do it, I have a couple quick announcements to make. Actually, I have one very important announcement to make. Concerning me, I will be back about a half an hour from now with a completely different show than this one. If you want to come back and see it, I would love to have you. Also, if you're so enamored with my music that you can't possibly make it another day without having it in your life, please don't panic. You have several options. Number one, you can adopt me. Number two, you can learn to play one of these things. By far the easiest thing to do, however, is to hop up here after this last song and browse through the enormous John Corbett big bag of tapes collection. That's right, big green bag, just stuffed full of John Corbett stuff. I've got 3 different tapes, including the new Minstrel's Tales, which has that song on it, as well as some older stuff. The new one, by the way, is also available in CDs. Cool, high-tech frisbees. Okay? You have a child growing out of the back of your neck. All right, one more song. I did a lot of traveling last winter. One of the places I ended up was Edinburgh, Scotland. Neat town. Now, the advice I was given was if you're going to travel in Europe, by train at least, don't bother to make a whole lot of hotel reservations. You really don't need them. Especially the time of year I was going, which was winter. Said, get to a depot. There'll be one of these little tourist information places. They will book you a room for the night. One of the little local bed and breakfast type places. Well, it worked fine until I got to Edinburgh. I got to Edinburgh at 9 o'clock on Sunday night. And of course, needless to say, the place was closed, right? I'm standing in this big, huge depot thinking, now what? This guy comes running up behind me and says, hey, buddy, you need a room? In the appropriate Scottish accent. Well, sure, what else have I got to do? He takes me about 1.5 miles through town, drops me off at this little place called the Gorvick Guest House. I went up, knocked on the front door. Lady answered. She was in her late 50s, early 60s. She had this big black accordion that swung over her back. Right. Well, here I am. I'm standing in her doorway. I've got the little dulcimer slung over my back. We look like two Western gunfighters ready to duel it out right there on the stairs. First thing she does, she grabs me by the neck, grabs me inside, says, "Let's play duet!" And this is what we did. It's called Scotland the Brave. Drumming, I hear the bagpipe coming, my bonny lass is coming over the sea. She left the native island to come and live in my lands. She love the folks who smile and say howdy do. Rolling the boat ashore, playing the pipe for her, dressed in a kilt and a tam o' shanter too. Drums in my heart a drumming, I hear the bagpipe coming, my bonny lass is coming, coming to me. Get the standing ovation. That's all the time I got. I don't know where we're at, but I don't have it anymore. I'm going to come back in half an hour. I'll be here.
I'll watch this.
Okay, Lord, I'm going to walk on up around to the entrance.
I'll be up there as soon as
Yeah, folks, come on in and find yourself a seat. We have about 2 minutes till showtime. The Horse Creek Band getting ready to go here at 12:45 or 12:45. Valley Jamboree right here. We're going to pick and grin. We've got a lot of requests. Still some seats available, so come on in. I'll tell you, this wind and stuff's kind of stirring up my sinus a little or something.
Oh, just hang in there, boys. We'll have a day off.
Hello, Gordon. You kind of slipped in on us. How you doing?
It's either this or follow her around all day, so I'll just, the lesser of the evil.
Why don't we do the Methodist Preacher?
Thank you very much, folks. A great big howdy to everybody. The Horse Creek Band up on stage with our 1245 Jamboree, live and in person at the Valley Theater. George Geissler kicking things off on his fiddle. George, that was a good one. Tell the folks about your opener.
Well, that was one of Uncle Penn's fiddle songs, a little bit of the Methodist Preacher.
I'll tell you, that was a good one. We're glad to have Gordon McCann out here listening to us. He's quite a guitarist. Him and Art Galbraith have played for many years around this area here. They've been down here to our festival a few times and done a little playing. You've been playing a lot up at Wilson's Creek up in there at the battlefield, haven't you? Yeah. All right, glad to have you. Is there anybody here today from the Lone Star State of Texas? How about any? All right, we're going to do a little Texas song here called I've Still Got My Little Home in San Antonio. All right. I haven't got a thing to call my own. And though I'm out of money, I'm still a millionaire, 'cause I've still got my home in San Antonio. Now when you greet your neighbor with the hi you all, I'm as happy as a king upon the throne. Now you can have your mansions or your cottage small, but I'll still take my home in San Antonio. I've traveled over this country, beat fortune fair. I've been in crowds that felt I was alone. But when I feel like bragging, I just up and say that I'm a native son of San Antonio. Now there's a sweet somebody down by the Alamo. Someday I'm gonna make her just my own. And then we'll build a high chair in a year or so for our little home in San Antonio. Thank you. Taking a little trip down to the Lone Star State of Texas with I've Still Got My Home in San Antonio. Larry, we got some folks here that are visiting us right here on the front row, and we was talking to them before the show. They're from Springfield, Illinois, the land of Lincoln, and they're wanting to hear a tune that we haven't played. How many years has it been since we played it?
Probably 10.
10 years. That's what I was
9,
thinking.
10.
All right. And you know the one where
Yeah,
you get the
the
skaters.
skaters waltz, and I guess you probably do have enough ice in the wintertime to go skating out there on the pond or something. Probably. We'll play this. This will be a condensed version. You know, sometimes you go to the store and you get a can of soup and it's condensed. You know what I'm talking about. So that's what this will be. Now, the skaters waltz, I wanted to record that this winter, and so I went to hear an orchestra play it. And by golly, they had notes in that I never even dreamt they had before. But it's really pretty. Someday I'd like to learn all of it. But this is a condensed version. I learned this from Frazier Moss, down an old fiddler that I used to run around with way down in Tennessee. And so this is a condensed version of the Skaters Waltz. Right.
Thank you, the Skaters Waltz, boys. I'll tell you, that was a good one. Been 10 years since we played it. Larry, you come through with flying colors there. Everybody really enjoyed that. A lot of these folks have been asking for some tunes we haven't played for a while, and we appreciate that. That kind of jogs our memory, you know. We've been doing a lot of them here lately we haven't played in a long time. We're going to bring up the old Oklahoma Wrangler right now, Buffalo Bud Short, and have him entertain you.
Yeah, y'all having a good time out there today?
Good. Yeah.
Well, maybe you'll get over it. I don't know.
But you got to admit, this audience is better than that one. You know, we started out this morning, things were a little strange.
Well, some of the convention was still here.
Now, wait a minute, Bud. Now, I'm talking about real early this. We got up with the chickens.
I'm talking about. There was a convention going on out here the other day, and there's some of them folks still left here.
Well, I know one thing. They were all congregated in one area, and we tried everything we could. What kind of convention was it?
Mortician.
Oh, yeah. Summer.
Well, these folks
here
here
had a slumber party, and they hadn't woke up yet.
Well, these folks here are ready for it, Bud. Have you got a good song picked out you can do
I don't
for
know
them?
if it'll be any good or not, but I've got one. Is any Okies here? Good. We're going to do you a song about Texas. And there's a little bit of everything in Texas.
Oh, wow.
All you have to do is look around and see. There's a little bit of everything in Texas. Really, I'm not bragging, you see. There's a little bit of everything in Texas, and a whole lot of Texas in me. Now, if you love old sunny California, or perhaps the hills of Tennessee, no matter what you love, just come to Texas, and I'll bet my boots will agree.
Texas right there, Buffalo Bud Short. Bud wasn't making fun of actually Oklahoma's his old stomping grounds. Did you know? Yeah, Bud, ain't that what?
Oh, yeah, my wife used to stomp me there quite frequently.
All right, we're glad to have the folks from all over the place.
Archie lives down in Texas.
I know he does in the winter.
But we don't hold that against him. We're glad to have him with us.
Right. Have we got anybody here today from the state of Kansas? Every show, there's got to be somebody. What? Oh, okay. I started to say, we've got to have somebody here from the state of Kansas. We played here 13 consecutive years, and of all the states we ever check on, we have never missed Kansas. There's always been somebody here from Kansas. How about the state of confusion? Anybody here today from the state of confusion? We always hit that, too. You got your hand up, too, don't you, bud? All right. Hey, Archie, let's get you over here on the old bull fiddle. We've had a lot of folks today asking about the bull fiddle, doing a little picking. You reckon we could get you to do maybe a little Lady of Spain or a little bit of the Florida Blues? Okay, Archie's working on his fingernails here and getting all ready to go. So, which one do you want to do for the folks today? Little Lady of Spain. All right, here we go. The king of the bull fiddle, Archie Phillips. You are ready. Phillips on the bass fiddle. Arky, did that take care of your fingernail that time? Oh, it's burning hide we're smelling. I know the smoke was a-rolling. I could tell it was something or other. All right. Arky Phillips doing a fine job. George, we're going to have you sing the folks one. Now, see, this show we're doing just a little bit different than usual. Usually we have George saw one and Larry will sing. This time Larry played the mandolin, so you know what that means. You're going to have to sing one for the folks. So what have you got?
God, they'll never ever take her love from me.
Oh, yeah.
If today the sun should set on all my hopes and cares, oh, there is one whose smiling face that God would see. Though she walked along beside me up them golden stairs, and though they'll never ever take her love from me. What a fool I was to go and break the trust you gave, and to see her love turned into sympathy. It's the one regret I'll carry with me to my grave. No, they'll never ever take her love from me. I'm so thankful for each golden hour of happiness that we shared together in the used to be. Someone else's arms may hold her now in fond caress, but they'll never ever take her love from me. I thought I couldn't make her happy if I stepped aside, but I knew her love would never set me free. And even on the day that she became another's bride, I said they'd never ever take her love from me. I know they'll never ever take her love from me. Thank you.
Thank you, George. George Geissler, they'll never ever take her love from me. Well, all the boys up here on stage have had a chance to either pick or sing or do something for you. We're going to check with our audience now and make sure, does anybody out there have an old request that we missed? A song, a tune, or something? Yep. Silver-haired daddy of mine. Now let's see if we can find a silver-haired fella of some sort up here. Anybody seen an old boy with a long... Oh, right there he is. Yeah, the old silver-haired daddy himself.
Oh, make me feel like an old guitar when I get up here.
Bud, how on earth could we make you feel like a guitar?
Because you're always picking on me. Y'all having a good time?
speckled bird. Hey, that'll be a good one to close the show out with. Somebody's wanting the great speckled bird. I do want to tell you, though, that we have recordings available. If any of you been wondering out there how you might take some of our music home with you, outside of loading us up and taking home with you, we do have the next best thing, though. We've got some recordings back here that are on cassette. We have the Horse Creek Band, Volume 3, picking and a grinning and a singing in Silver Dollar City. It's 45 minutes of non-stop music. I think there's even some jig dancing and gospel music on there, isn't there? All right, Larry Sledge has a couple instrumental recordings. You heard him playing the mandolin a while ago. That waltz he played, boy, I'll tell you, there's some mandolin picking, there's some 5-string banjo flogging, old-time numbers that people ask for, even some that he wrote. These cassettes are $8 each, whichever cassette you want. Now, here's the good part. If you buy a cassette, we've got a box of albums right back here on this table that were recorded live on stage at Silver Dollar City. They're totally different than the cassettes. We'll give you one of those albums. Let's also, boys, give them an 8x10 picture. All right, there, we'll fix you right up. So you folks come on down and see us after the show if you're interested in our recordings, and we'll fix you right up. All right, let's see, the great speckled bird. All right.
Are we still giving a week's supply of groceries along with that too?
That's all.
Well, we can't make no money doing that.
But it's only money, it's not your life.
That's right, buddy.
Y'all remember that after a while. Was you winking at me, honey, or did you just have something in your eye? What a beautiful thought I am thinking. Concerning that great speckled bird. Remember her name is recorded on the pages of God's holy word. She's spreading her wings for a journey. She's going to take by and by. When the trumpet shall sound in the morning, she will meet her dear Lord in the sky. I'm glad I have learned of his teaching. Yes, I'm proud that my name is on his book. For I want to be one never living on the face of my Savior to love. Thank you.
Thank you, Bud. Taking us up to break time with the great speckled bird. Folks, you've been a great audience. We hope you enjoyed the Horse Creek Band. I think we got most of the recordings answered. If you're interested in taking some of our music